Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to Voices from the Mausoleum, and welcome to our Howlin For You, a werewolf charity anthology launch live. I was just thinking, I was like, damn, I should have done like a werewolf clip to add, but I didn't even. I was so on top of getting, the author videos and like everything ready because I did all that yesterday, but I didn't even think to do that. That's okay. Steve made up for it.
Luckily, you got this impeccable voice acting.
Yes, I think Robert from Creepy and Geeky is a big fan of your.
Yeah, we're using the word fan very loosely.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, did you see?
Oh yeah, it's on display. I love it. The art. I was floored with the artwork that you shared.
Yeah, I'll take into better individual pictures and send them to you. Yeah, so we are here to celebrate our werewolf charity anthology. It's literally out today. Links are super handy in the description, so you can go order either an ebook or physical. Yeah, so this I'm really excited. I mean, I'm always excited about charity projects, but this is I just think, an extra special one. So I'm a big werewolf fan, and I thought, well, I really want to do a werewolf anthology. And I was like, oh, it could be a charity anthology, and it could benefit real wolves.
Yeah.
Right. And because wolf conservation is a big deal, because there are a lot of species of wolves that are endangered of being extinct in our lifetime, and there's a bunch of them, and it's super sad because we just as humans just don't take care of the planet and the things on it like we should. So that's kind of how we arrived here. Do you want to do hellos real quick before I?
Yeah, I was gonna say animals are better than
us.
Yeah. Hi, Rick.
Thanks, Rick. Thank you.
And Mike. Thank you.
And Mike,
again for watching all the found footage episodes.
I'm doing so good. I'm keeping up with the comments. I don't know if you've noticed.
I see. Yeah, you barely I see the notifications, and I barely have a second to go on, and you're like, they're already there.
I'm trying to stay on top of it, But yeah,
no, it's great.
Cool kind of revisiting the episodes with them, actually, because some of them are 2 years old.
I can't believe how many movies you guys have covered already. It's insane.
I know. Well, and what's crazy too is that when I was trying to come up with the one to do for a short review today, I was like, I couldn't, because it needed to be one I had already seen. So I was like, well, I don't know what that is.
Yeah. Thank you, Rick. You should. I mean, there's some amazing stories in there.
We appreciate it. Yeah. Oh, so every dollar of profit, everything that we get from these books goes straight to our charity, which is Wolf Conservation Center in Salem, New York. There's also a link to their website down below. We don't really have an easy setup to take donations while we're doing a live. So if you're interested in donating any dollar amount aside from the book, please visit their website. There's a donate button. You can help on that end too. So
share our videos. We are, I think, 1,300 hours away from being able to do super chats, charities. Yeah. We're so close to making things like this much easier.
Mike is helping.
Mike is
Mike is skyrocketing our views.
Thank you, Mike.
Yeah, me too. It's been so fun seeing which ones we differ on, which one we're which found footage movies we like the same. So but yeah, we're really close to being able to do that kind of stuff. So
yes, we're celebrating. Thank you.
But in the meantime, if you are wanting to donate but don't want to donate, the full cost of the book, which totally get it, you can donate any dollar amount on their website, which again listed below. Please do that if you're able, because they need the help. And just a little bit more background on how we kind of arrived to who we were going to donate to. We follow an account called Wolf Skull Jack, and she actually volunteers at a wolf shelter or conservation center in Canada, but she does werewolf art. And she does a lot of werewolf art. And so I had reached out to her when I realized that she also worked at a conservation center. I was like, hey, we're going to do this werewolf charity anthology. Is this something that the organization that you work for, could benefit from? And she was like, I mean, probably. She was like, but I know one that needs it more. And then she redirected me to the one in Salem, New York, which is not too far from where Steve is.
Yep, literally right around the corner. So I forgot to put the title. I'm putting a link to their website in the chat.
So it's in chat as well. Yeah.
That's their website. I'm also going to put a link to their Twitter account.
Yeah,
that's here as well.
Yeah, and I think their website has their other social media stuff.
Everything, yeah, everything should be all in one
It
place.
should be there, but yeah, hi Tara. Tara got me my Wolfman pin that you can see right there.
It's so cute.
He's
Yes,
so
I
cute.
mean,
He's a baby bear.
amazing that also this dropped the same day the Wolfman teaser dropped. It's just a wolfy day.
It's just a wolfy day.
Yeah.
I'm here for it, you know?
I love
Like
it. It's so cool.
it's so cool.
Serendipitous, if you will.
It was just meant to be. I think honestly they dropped the trailer early though because of the reaction to the
They were like,
HHN stuff, but that's okay.
right. We're like, we're not using a Party City costume, guys. Don't
Like
worry.
please have faith in this project. Yes. So which is fine. I think it's fine, right? But yeah, so it was meant to be today, I think.
Oh, yay. Can't wait for you guys to read it.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, because so Tara is Albert's partner. Albert is my co-host on Curse Beings, and Albert is a massive werewolf fan as well. So it's I hope you guys get a chance to read them and you like some of the stories. So Howlin For You, Aware of Charity anthology. My wonderfully talented, beautiful partner did the cover. She did the full wrap. She's going to school for this stuff, and this was her first book cover, but she did a great job.
It's so cute. I love the color.
This
combo.
like coloration was an accident. We were like I was over this actually before. This was months and months and months ago. She was working on it and I was over before we moved in together and she was like going through the stuff. And I was like, wait. I like that. That's weird. I like it. And so anyway, it's kind of how we came. And then there's obviously the more of the background and stuff on the back. So if I can read through the not for resale thing that KDP insists on putting on these books.
Yeah.
Werewolves, a classic horror monster that has evolved and changed over decades. Ever heard the thoughts from inside the minds of a pack? What would you do if the love of your life gave birth to a monster? What about a crime werewolf story? Or what about a transformation process that results in a chemical, goopy mess? You'll find those stories and many other truly unique takes in this one-of-a-kind charity werewolf anthology. I'm at the bar. Once you've read one story, you'll be howling for the rest of them. I remember my cheesiness at the end. And so, I'm horrible at writing the backs to stuff. So I'm like,
it's hard. Yeah. How do you encapsulate like a whole anthology? That's hard to get the whole theme in there.
And then when you're like picking story elements to put, you don't want to make people feel left out or like, you know what I mean? So I was trying to be very careful, but I think it was important to note just how different these stories are because when Steve and I were reading through these, and I do want you to kind of talk about that experience after I'm done like with this thought really quick. But when we were reading through the stories, that was like our goal was to say, okay, here's what we know of werewolves. This is what we've seen. Is this different? Is this unique? Can we take this to something outside of what we see all the time? And the answer is hell yes, 25 times, right? Like, I don't count my stories. I guess it's technically 26, but yes, we were able to do that. The stories that people submitted were just like, wow,
so fun, so unique and creative. And like you said, so this is my first time ever like reading through story submissions and picking some. This was really,
what'd you think of it?
This was fun. Yeah. And I was just sort of blown away by like just the uniqueness and the creativity that was brought to to these stories. And there were so many that we couldn't include. But partly because the goal being that we wanted to have very unique perspectives and there was a lot of overlap. That didn't mean that the stories weren't good. It's just
it just made that a little bit more of a competitive of a type of story. Yes, like the hunter thing, I'll be totally honest with you, I don't think any story we received was bad, not a single one, which always makes that part of that process is hard regardless. But there were a lot of hunter stories, for example, and that made that specific type of story more competitive. We had to really look at all of them and be like, okay, seriously, like which ones really stand out? Which ones do we want to use?
Yeah.
And it became really hard specifically with hunters, I feel like. So
yeah, it is super hard. But it's just to catch up on, the Wolfman costume, I think, was a
I was like, what's a troll job? Oh, the
Wolfman costume.
But did you see the still from the trailer? It's definitely the same look. I just think
Yeah,
the
but
movie's gonna be movie quality, not, you know what I mean?
not
Like,
yeah.
not hanging out on a stage quality.
Sure, sure. But I do have a feeling. Let's go,
Oh, hi.
Skeleton. Hi to the moon.
Yeah,
Um.
that's JR, saying he's in, the oh my god, what's the name of that other book? That Old House, the Bathroom. Anyway, go ahead.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah,
I wanted
Gooey
to
and
buy
Goopy.
because we love support charity animals, yes, but now I have to because Gooey and Goopy are yeah,
Love
there's
Goopy
some
hard.
interesting stories, so, you'll have to let me know what you think of some of them, Mike, especially when you get to the ones that are like that are really out there. Um, but yeah, so would you do this again, reading through stories for an anthology?
Yes. I would start reading them much earlier.
Yes,
I
yes.
got to a point where I
Again,
was like, "Oh my god, I gotta get through so many," but I want to
well,
make sure I give each story time and attention and care,
yeah.
and
No, that's super important.
But we kept like diligent spreadsheet. I noticed you were going through the spreadsheet faster than I was at one point. I was like, "Oh
Yeah.
no,
Because
I
I
need to
was
catch
getting
up."
well, because the pacing for getting stories with anthologies is always weird. Because at least in my experience in the ones I've done so far, it's super slow. Like, oh no, I'm not going to have enough stories. I literally go through this every single time I do. And I'm like, oh no, I'm not going to have enough stories to do this. To That's a lot of stories. Holy shit. And then you're like trying to like, so
Yeah,
yeah,
I don't know. Yeah, you have to make sure it's like you can't let it get ahead of you like that.
yeah,
But it
yeah.
was a cool process, and I would do it
Yeah.
again.
Yeah, no, it's a lot of work for anyone who hasn't put an anthology. Now, I do make other people do the harder stuff, but it is still hard to organize all of this. And then it's like staying on top of making sure you've messaged everybody and you've messaged the
Mhm.
correct thing, which I did make a couple of mistakes doing that. Thankfully, nothing too catastrophic, but still like it's a lot to manage. It's a lot to
Yeah,
manage and to keep up with because you want to do right by the project and you want to do right by the author. So it just takes a lot of focus to make sure,
yeah.
that
What?
you're doing all the right things.
Yeah.
Which speaking of people who also worked on the project, so I got kind of in a bind with trying to get editing together for this, just with my timeline and just life things in general. So I did want to give a very special shout out to Nico Bell, who is an indie horror author. She did not have to do this, but she jumped in last minute, agreed to edit it, and didn't charge because it was a charity anthology. So literally saved me and then in just this crazy timing. And I just am very grateful that she took the project on because she did not have to do that, you
It's
know.
amazing.
And so because she has I think a degree in this sort of thing, so like she definitely can make money doing it and has made money doing it. But she just was like, yeah, no, I'll take this on. And she did. And it was great. Like it was super, super helpful. And I just wanted to give her a special shout. She is of course going to get a contributor box as well when we get ready to ship those. I'm still waiting on Amazon to ship the damn things. If you go on Amazon right now, you can get the book in 2 days. If you order author copies, who knows? I
Ooh,
ordered them over a week ago and they still haven't shipped. How can everybody
yeah.
else get them in 2 days? I hate that. But anyway. And then the other person I wanted to give a shout out to is, of course, the amazing Kat Valor. She formats pretty much everything for me. And so she did a really great job with it. She usually puts a cover picture in the front, but then she took it upon herself, and I always love when she gets creative with it, to do these really cool headers for chapter titles.
Yeah, I love when she inserted those.
She did that. I didn't have anything to do with that. And then when you get to the stories that have the little section breaks, I know I'm going to come on one. There we go. She did the moon cycles, which is
Mhm.
elegant but on theme. So just wanted to give her a shout. She will also be getting, of course, a contributor copy as well. So
Yeah.
or a contributor package as well. Because without the people who edit and format these books, they don't happen, man, because I can't do it. I don't
No.
have the skill set. I still don't even know what past perfect tense is. I can't do it. And so
Tense
without
is
these
hard. That is hard.
people, without Nico and without Kat, this project would not have been successful. Yeah, we love
Nico is
Nico.
great. Thank you, Nico.
Yeah, Nico's awesome. And so I just wanted to make sure I took a second to give them a shout. And then you have a copy in front of you, yeah? Somewhere?
Yep.
Do you want to read the dedication? So I don't want to like overshadow everything because this was a group effort.
Yeah. This book is dedicated to the Wolf Conservation Center in Salem, New York. Thank you for all you do for these incredible creatures. So
Yeah.
so once again, so all proceeds are going to the Wolf Conservation Center right here in Salem. Like Angel said at the beginning, I'm literally 2 towns over from them. So they are, just serendipitously happened to be in my very backyard.
And we didn't know that at the time. I just said, oh, they're in New York. And you were like, wait a minute. Like, let me look this up real quick. And it was super close. So Steve's going to be going by soon to talk to them and drop off some stuff. Once we get everything ready for contributors, I'll send you some extra stuff to send them. At least bookmarks and pens and stuff. So, yeah. And then, the other 2 people, I wanted to shout is we were able to get a couple of blurbs, which, I'm terrible about asking people to do stuff super last minute. I'm the absolute worst. And it's just because I work better under chaos, apparently. So there was Janine Pipes, if you are not familiar. She is a filmmaker and a writer and horror and action enthusiast. She wrote The Making of Dog Soldiers, and is working on her next How We Made It book, which is going to be on The Descent. But she is a very avid werewolf lover. She really has a really big passion for wolves in general, as a creature, as an animal. And so when she saw this project, she asked if she could be a part of it, as far as like providing a blurb or anything of the site. And so anything of the such. And so she did provide a blurb. And this is what her blurb says. Howlin For You has something for everyone, from the stickler for traditional lore to those who want a new spin on the tale as old as time. Boasting a wide variety of voice and style, they have ensured this charity anthology will make a welcome addition to everyone's lycanthropic library.
Yes.
Janine Pipe, author of Sausages, The Making of Dog Soldiers. And then, of course, our very, very dear friend, Radar DeBoard, who is a content creator and a horror author as well. If you've been watching the channel, you know him because he's been on here before. And so he was also a saint and took this on super last minute. And so his blurb says, if you thought werewolves were overdone and there was no way to do anything original with them, then allow this anthology to show you otherwise. You will never be so happy to be proven wrong.
Oh,
yeah.
That's amazing.
Sweet. Our little friends. We love them. But anyway, so we do have, there was a few authors that were able to get me some stuff to kind of share. We've got a couple videos, some stuff we're going to read.
Yes.
And so we'll do a couple videos. We'll go through those and then we'll talk a little bit more about the book and then we'll show the rest of what we have. Yeah.
Cool. Are we going to start over with Brad, right?
Yes. I don't know. I'm not on that screen. I'm just trusting you to push the button.
Press the buttons. Button. Who's got the button?
Button.
Hi, my name is Brad Acevedo, and I'm honored to be included in the Howlin For You anthology, and I'm hoping that my story, The Red Queen, and all the other wonderful authors contributing to this story collection can help provide some business for these wonderful animal sanctuaries. It's a cause that's near and dear to my heart because I absolutely love animals. I do volunteer at some other animal sanctuaries as well, and I'm glad to be seeing that we're going to be supporting a great cause with this. Now, I want to do this video very quickly. I apologize if I'm rushed, but let's just say I have a bit of a time limit. It's getting a little late, close to sunset right now, and I just need to finish real quickly. I'm sorry. But yeah, anyways, The Red Queen is a story that I was inspired to write mainly from my time spent in San Diego. Sorry, I'm a little distracted. My time spent in San Diego, one of the big parks in the city there, Balboa Park, is heavily inspired for the setting of the story. So if you read it, and if you're at all familiar with Balboa Park, I'm so sorry, excuse me, then I hope that you'll kind of recognize some of the settings, and I just have a bit of a kinship with the park itself, and with the setting, and with the concept of werewolves and lycanthropes. I think that I'm very well suited to write about them. I'm sorry, where was I? Well, looks like I didn't finish this in time, but it is what it is. As you can see, I'm very well suited to writing about the lycanthrope and the plights that they do encounter, especially with those who don't quite understand the plights that we go through and the perils of our everyday existence. But I do hope that you enjoy my story, The Red Queen, and all these other wonderful stories and talented authors within this amazing anthology. And I do hope that it goes to support more of my lupine brethren and providing them with the safety and comfort that we also do deserve. So make sure to check it out. Howlin For You from Voices from the Mausoleum. And until then, I bid you a good evening and a lovely full moon. Fare thee well.
Yay!
That was great. So full disclosure, I didn't watch these because I kind of wanted to have the moment. So that was hilarious. Brad's
Yes.
awesome. That's
Yes.
Hi. Sarah's one of the authors too. Yeah.
I love yes, how I felt. I loved it. That was fun. It's so cool seeing a name, like putting a face and like a personality to the
To the
stories.
story.
Yeah. Yes, yes. I believe Brad will be in the Wolf Band. Yes.
Yeah. That was great.
Oh,
I'm glad you were able to get that in. That was
brightened my evening.
yeah, that was great. Okay, you want to do the next one?
Yeah.
Hi, my name is Jasmine De La Paz, and my story, Shackled Bones, is basically a feminist werewolf piece. It is set in the 19th century. During this time, women were thought to be very frail and fragile and must obey either their father, their husbands, their brothers, or sometimes even their sons. It was just believed that women were not smart enough and capable to take care of themselves. If a woman did show any signs of depression or simply disobeyed, they were oftentimes sent to an asylum. A lot of women snapped under these circumstances and ended up murdering their husbands, usually by poison. And again, they were either sent to an asylum, a prison, or sometimes hanged. So in my story, in order to break through these shackles so tightly bound upon these women's wrists, they come together to become literal beasts. So I hope you enjoy my story and pick up this wonderful anthology that supports a great cause. Thank you.
That was great.
Aww.
Yeah. I love Shackled Bones. That was one where I wasn't really sure where it was going. So the way that it kind of wrapped around and then the way that, as it gets closer to the end and you get kind of the full picture, you're like, oh, I like this,
Well, as soon as she said the title, it was like immediate smile to my face. I was like, "Oh yeah, that one."
Oh yeah, that one.
Again, I love this. I love that we're doing this because now I get to sort of see like the early phase, and now we're doing the release phase. I'm like, yeah, it's so cool.
For sure, yeah. And then we have one more, and then we'll jump into just a few
We're
more.
gonna go over to the readings. Yeah.
Perfect.
Hello, I'm Madeline White, and when I saw the call for wolf-positive werewolf stories, I absolutely had to write a story, not only because I've always loved wolves, but because I used to live about 15 minutes from the sanctuary that this is a fundraiser for. So I sat down and I came up with the idea for Becoming the Beast. The inspiration for this story was I've always liked the struggling with the monster inside of you part of a werewolf story. This idea that there is something about you that is dangerous, that is harming those you love, and you're trying to fight against it. I think that it's very applicable to everybody, and I like the way that werewolf stories allow you to dramatize that. But it's always kind of sucked because I love wolves, and I'm like, the bad thing to be isn't a wolf, it's obviously a person. So I kind of ran with that for my story, and I hope you like it. Thanks for buying the book, and thanks for the support.
Aw.
Uh,
Yeah,
you
I
know,
forgot. Madeline told me that about the sanctuary. I totally forgot about that. She told me that ahead of time. You want to do comments really quick and then
oh yeah, let's catch up.
sorry. Um,
Hi,
what's up,
JR.
JR?
Evening. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hey, Hughes.
Oh, hey, Hughes. Yeah, Hughes has a story in this too called Little Jimmy. Really, really just emotional coming of age story. So I'm glad you could stop by, Hughes. I think we're on a different time zone. So I'm glad you were able to stop by.
Oh yeah, Hughes. Where are you again?
I think he's in Canada. No, I don't know.
Well, Canada could be the same depending on where.
But I think it's on. Maybe it's not Canada. No, it is Canada. I've had to send him stuff before. It's
like
Canada.
close to like British Columbia.
Maybe we don't have different time. Don't listen to me about time zones.
Sure.
I don't know. I've been recording with Scott for like 3 years at this point. I still forget our time difference.
Yeah.
Definitely support this book and all the amazing authors that brought their stories, including JR, who has a story in this. This is JR's first publication for his, well, in general, but his story is called The Sanctuary or Sanctuary. And yeah, so this is JR's first time in a book. Look, he's correcting me. He's like, no, same.
Same Ontario. Yeah, you're like right up. It's
Whatever. I was trying to justify the popping in and out, thinking, oh, it might be late. I don't know what time it is for you. Whatever. Angel doesn't have to know time zones.
We do change, like our time differences do change with other time zones because we still do the stupid freaking daylight savings.
Yeah.
So like for Scott, it goes from like 5 hours to 6 hours to 5 hours to 6 hours.
Oh. Really?
Yeah.
I never even realized that. You know what I usually do? And Albert and Tara live in California. So I have to always ask them, I'm like, okay, it's 9:30 now. What time is it for you? Trying to 2:30 in here, but I'm excited to hear about the other stories.
So you're in the UK then, right?
Commitment.
10, 11, 12,
right?
1, 2, you'd be UK.
Yep.
Like, or like wherever. Maybe not necessarily the UK, but you know.
Yeah.
Yay! Much
yeah.
love to JR.
There's several. So the other, and if anybody else is watching that is a first time published author, and I don't know about it, please let me know. Like, put a comment. I want to know, because the only other one I know with 100% certainty that is a first time publication is Marley J. That's another author on the table of contents that is the first time author. Nervous, but definitely it was a good way to make that jump. Yeah.
Well worth
it. I'm glad that you were willing to commit to doing it, because it's very scary. I get that.
Yeah, I'm honored to be having read it.
Oh, wait.
Oh yeah, so yeah, you are UK. Okay.
Okay, yeah, okay. Sarah, this was your first publication too? Did I know that? Oh my God. See, I love that. I don't always know, when I'm getting all these people who do the submissions, I don't always know who everybody is off the top of my head. Madeline, I knew because I've had other stories from her and other stuff. And there's a few other Hughes I've also had before. I was Hughes' first publication. His first publication was in That Old House, the Bathroom.
Oh, that's so special, though.
He did a story about silverfish, and those things are. Anyway,
thank you, Mike.
Oh, thank you so much.
Thank you too.
This book broke my record for pre-orders. We ended up with 12 in total, which is more than I've ever had for a book before. I'm building up, and I love that, because that means the next payout that we get will already have money to give to the foundation. So yes, congratulations, Sarah. That makes me so happy. First time attempted at a wolf.
Oh yeah. Awesome.
I mean, werewolves, I'm telling you, like, I'm so fascinated by them. And I always feel like they're Marley J's here. Yay. I was just talking about you. In my first published, I've been working on this werewolf novel for almost 2 years, and I'm happy to share good bones. I love that so much.
Yes.
God, it makes me so happy to know that there are people that are getting first publications out of these books, because, I want to be able to give people opportunities that maybe other places didn't give them or wouldn't, or you know what I mean? Like,
it's something special just to be able to have like your story in a book. You can physically hold it. It's
I mean, yeah. And so anyway, so especially if it's your first publication, extra congratulations. Really excited to be a part of that experience for you. Hopefully it was a good one. It but yeah, so it's been really cool getting to work with these authors. A couple repeat ones, like Hughes in particular that I've worked with before, but it's just been really cool like reading through these because I a lot of times, especially more like I guess in cinema, werewolves are usually like tacked on to something else.
Yeah.
And oh hi Jasmine. We just did your video just a couple minutes ago. So happy to have a story. Can't wait to read everyone's. Yeah. Amazon has not shipped author copies. I ordered them over a week ago when all the files were finalized and they have not shipped. They're supposed to be to me by the 10th. So I will be getting them next week. And as soon as I get them, I will be putting packages together and they will be getting to you guys.
Out they go.
The states will obviously get them faster because I live in the States, but I try to keep them within only a couple of days. Anything that has to go through customs, though, it's going to take a little bit longer, but I do have them on the way. I hate that you have to wait, but Amazon, they can print them in 2 days for everybody else, just not author copies because they don't make any money off of them. So they don't prioritize them, but that's
they're just like, whatever, you get them when you get them.
So, but yeah, I overall, like I was really just blown away with what people were able to come up with. I just, I mean, I feel like, radar, I won't say too much about what this specific story has because I want people to read the stories and get the experiences themselves. But Radar started the first story.
Yeah.
And he messaged me and he goes, "You're really starting the anthology with this?" He was like, no, like this is crazy already. Like, this is what you're starting with. How much crazier is it going to get kind of thing? And I was like, and if you look at it, I don't know if you remember this one, but it was like the one where I was like, I don't care what you say. We have to have this one. Not that you said anything negative, but I was like, this one has to go in. Like it was one of my, and so anyway, so it was just one of those things where it was, that one's called The Caress of the Moon, and it's by Sarah Crockle Smith. I think I pronounced that middle part right.
So I was going to say, why don't we read through just a list of stories and authors?
Because I don't want to butcher names, but I apologize in advance if I do.
Yeah. If we get it wrong, we're sorry. We're sorry.
We are so sorry. We still love you, and we give you all the love and respect. I just don't know
page,
how to read.
I'll do second page. You do last page of contents. So just switch off page.
Oh yeah, because there's a bunch of authors. This is the biggest anthology I've done.
Mm-hmm.
Radar. Okay, listen. Radar is a saint. Like, insert that gif from Lord of the Rings, when he's like, "For Frodo." Like, if anyone ever messed with Radar, that's me. I'm coming for them. Radar is a saint. He also blurbed it, which I think you probably heard me say that earlier, Rick.
Yes.
But yeah, I'll do the first one and the last one, and then you'll do the middle.
I'll do the middle chunk. Okay. Yeah.
All right. So this is our table of contents. Try not to bend my book. Anyway. The Caress of the Moon by Sarah Crockle Smith. White Dresses, Crimson Heart by Rachel Endicott. The Scent of Silver by Scott Harding from the You Run podcast. Becoming the Beast by Madeline White. Of Girl and Wolf by Sophie Ingley. Transformation, R.C. Capasso, apologize.
Yeah, so
I'm also going to butcher this next one. I think Steve gave me the hard page. Howling Across the Night Sky by Bryce Mearhaig.
I think it's Mearhaig. I think you got it.
Ooh, I need to know ahead of time. Okay. Salvaged Video by Dawn Colclasher.
Yeah, that's what would have been my guess. The Tourist by A.D. Jones. Sanctuary by Jose L. Lopez Jr.
That's JR from Horror.
JR. Those that are made this night. Lauren Carter. Super Smeller. Rain Corbin. Don't Hunt the Wolves. Agatha Grimke. Little Jimmy. Use Oime. How do you pronounce it? We met. Game. Jeannie Marshall. There Was a Lock on the Door. Rob McWolf. Very appropriate last name. The Hour Before Dawn. M. Edusa. Good Bones, Marley J. BEK, Derek Heath, or Beck. Was it
Beck?
Beck. The Feast of Fenrir, Gary Robb.
Ugh.
That was a killer one. Away with the Spoon, Matthew Shabin. Among the Wolves, Jack Finn.
The Red Queen by Brad Acevedo. Did I say that right? Acevedo. Vado. Perfectly Natural by Sarah Connor. Shackled Bones by Jasmine De La Paz. Hot Fun in the Summer, me.
Yeah, this one. Sarah is amazing.
Yes, that's the okay. Here's the thing. When you're coming up, yeah,
I did.
he
I didn't
looked
do
at
it
the
on purpose.
names. No, Mike. He looked at the names and was like, "Oh, I'll take page 2."
I did it based on like it was like the longest run, so that's
Listen,
why I was like,
my last name is Kraus. It's German, unfortunately, but I say that because I don't really need that last name anymore, but it's my son's last name, so I kept it. Anyway, so I get called Cross all the time. So I'm never offended, but I don't ever want to offend somebody because I don't know how to say their name. I'm just not like, I don't know.
Listen, my last name, my last name now is Emerson. I changed it when we got married, but my birth name is Gioe. How do you think you say that?
Gioe.
How do you say that?
I want to say it right and prove you wrong, but I don't know.
It's Joe.
Oh yeah, no.
Yeah. I think it's supposed to be Italian, but I think it came from like a French root or something. I don't know. I tried to do a whole like etymology on it, right?
Yeah.
But no.
Yeah.
Yes. Listen, I had my like, I don't know. Well, is there a book version of the Oscars? I don't know. I was like, yes, A.D. Jones.
Whatever. I think I did okay.
You did great.
So. Yeah, I mean, I was going to try to see if there was a way to summarize all of these stories, but I don't know that there is. I should have probably done that ahead of time, but I was just trying to think.
Unique, heart-wrenching, beautiful,
poetic
is yes. Exciting. And yeah, just a really cool take on it's like always say like the werewolf story sort of right. It's been done to death, right? There's so many versions. So like we said, like we really want to go in and find unique stories. And I think like all of the writers that submitted like here like nailed it in this book.
Yeah, no, I agree. And it's been like one of those things where like I said this earlier, but when you get to like the rejection part where you have to like finalize decisions, that's how you end up with 2 books, which is what I did for That Old House, The Bathroom, because I just couldn't, it was too hard to just be like no to that many really good stories. And so I didn't. I just did part 2, which almost killed me, both mentally and financially. But that part is hard because, you know, we're such big supporters of indie horror and indie authors and these, you know, everybody that we know, people we just met. And so getting to work with indie authors is always just like, it's such a meaningful, like fun thing for me to do. And so, you know, like I said, a couple of the people that are in this table of contents I've worked with in other projects before, but it was really cool meeting new people, and it was really cool seeing people that it was going to be their first publication, and it's being able. And then I'm telling you, these stories were picked for a reason. We love them. Like they're strong, they're unique, they're crazy. Some of them are crazy, but when you read the stories, when y'all get this book, because everybody's got it in their cart right now, I know. When you get this book, remember the names of the first time publications, and you go read their stories and tell me that you can tell us their first publication, because I assure you, you cannot.
No.
You cannot tell. This is such a super talented group of people, and it really is very special to know that people trust you with their story. Because I think sometimes in the indie community, this is gonna be very short because I don't want to damp on anything, but it can be very worrisome to trust people with your stories, especially in a sense of like, oh, this is for charity, right? Like I had a question when I posted this call or maybe it wasn't this one because I have 2 other charity anthologies coming, was one of them. Maybe it was the house one where somebody was like, wanted to know how I was going to separate that money and make sure that it got to the charity. And there was a part of me that was like, but then I remembered, like, that's a valid question. You don't know me. You
Shady
haven't
crap
worked with me.
happens. Yeah,
Bad things have happened to so many people. And so to
exactly.
know that you guys were so willing, you know, to trust me with your stories and to be a part of this super meaningful project. I just wanted to say thank you to everybody because
Yeah.
it is super meaningful. Like I did a quick found footage video for today. And I was talking about the book in the live at the end, and I had to like stop talking for a second because I got like emotional talking about the cause. But it is very special, and I don't take it for granted that I get an opportunity to work with you all. And I just want you to know that I'm very thankful for that.
Absolutely. Oh, let's yeah, not to harp on the name, but yes, thank you for making it easy for me. It's about
It is
wolves.
about wolves.
It is
Fuzzy,
fuzzy,
furry,
furry.
fun. See, I could have just put all this on the back, and then I wouldn't have had to come up with anything on my own. Spooky,
scary. Oh man, that I can go on a whole. Well, JR might know what I'm referencing. There's a part in She-Hulk. There's a character that talks about being sucked into like a devil portal, and she's like, first it was spooky, then it was scary, and then it was fun again, and then that whole monologue cracks me up. But every time I hear spooky, I always just think of that one
immediately
character.
go to. It's so funny.
I'm
You thought of something funny, and it's not the same word, but we've been playing through I've been supervising. They've been playing through the Resident Evil games, and we've been rewatching Welcome to Raccoon City. And so all I could think reading it like that was itchy tasty.
Yes.
Anyway, I digress. That's the way my brain works. But it's just what's fresh because it's like we've been playing through 2 and 3, and then we literally just been watching the movie the last couple of days. But yeah.
Welcome to Raccoon was underrated. But anyway, I saw you post about that. I know that's not even where
I'm not even gonna go there because I will be on a tangent. I'll be getting loud.
So excited for Agatha. You kidding me? Sorry, Agatha all along. That practical horror, it's gonna be amazing. Demon possession. I'm all in. Right?
I know.
And they did to keep it werewolf theme. I love going back to Werewolf by Night, which was like the Marvel Halloween special.
The black and white one.
Oh, so good.
That was so good.
Yeah.
I hated how short it was, though. I know that was the point, but it just left you like
really wanting more. I mean, having references,
and then they're like, yeah. So anyway,
I know.
But
digress.
Yeah. So we've got one more video, and 2 people sent me something to read on their behalf. So we'll do that, and then we'll probably wrap up. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do the next video.
From Rob McWolf.
Yes.
Hey there, everyone. This is Rob McWolf, author of There Was a Lock on the Door. I'm real excited about this anthology. I hope you're going to enjoy it. And I'm apparently supposed to say a few words about inspiration for the piece. So there's a few. I'd say mainly there was that canard about the shortest horror story possible being, the last man on earth sat alone in a room, etc. I'm sure you've heard it. There's the tired, that I would call tired trope, the zombie apocalypse, and I thought I could maybe do something a little more interesting with that. But I think the main one was the fact the submission call explicitly said horror stories. And that issued a challenge in that I had to write a werewolf story where becoming a werewolf was a bad thing. As you can probably tell, that was very difficult for me. But I hope you enjoy my solution to the problem. Enjoy the book, guys.
I want that mask.
That mask is super cool.
It's really cool. I was so fixated on it.
It was so cool. So his, I don't know if anybody else is going to know this, and I can never remember the name of this stupid game, but his story, There's a Lock on the Door, reminded me of, there is this like pixelated, like like not so great quality on purpose game about a werewolf where you play as a werewolf, but you're human and you're inside your cabin and you have to set up all these things to try to prevent yourself from getting out. And I know that's not the premise of his story, but I love when things make me think of video games. It always makes me super happy. And as I was reading it, I was like, I was picturing the story in this like 3-bit world of like the video game. I don't know, just my own personal experience with it, but it was a really, really cool take on a survival man versus werewolf kind of concept. It was a really, really fun story. So that's cool to kind of hear, his thought process is like getting through those things and making it what it ended up being. So that was cool.
Yeah, I mean, when you can visualize something perfectly, I mean, that just shows you that like the prose are so colorful and dynamic, and then you could really see yourself in that location, right?
Yeah.
Which we see
Totally.
throughout this entire anthology of just like fantastic locations and characters and emotional and horrific explorations. Like it's just, it really runs the gamut of like where you could take a werewolf story.
No, it totally does. Did I already lose it? I did. No, there it is. Okay. So I have a couple things I'm going to read. The first one is from Bryce, who wrote Howling in the Night Sky, which was one of the first submissions, actually. It was one of the first ones that came through. And she starts out y'all. So that makes me wonder where she's from, or he's from. They're from, not sure. Hey y'all, first, congratulations on the publication of Howlin For You. I'm so grateful to be featured in an anthology headlined by amazing writers that also supports a great cause. My story, Howling Across the Night Sky, started off with a contest entry that I was able to expand further on once it was over. With the feedback I received, I fleshed out the characters and pulled world building from another werewolf story to explore aerophobia and generalized anxiety. That comes through very, very clear, Bryce. Particularly the fear of losing control in a situation that's inappropriate or dangerous. The expansion also provided an opportunity to explore family-related trauma, love that part as well, in order to justify why a responsible protagonist would get on the plane to begin with. Taken all together, Howling Across the Night Sky became the story of a young woman forced to take late flight across the country that ultimately ends in a splatterpunk tragedy. With that, thanks again for your consideration, and I can't wait to read everyone's work.
Oh yeah.
So because I really actually do not know what their pronouns are. So I'm just going to say they to be respectful. That story, because I feel like they kind of give enough a way that I can say this and get people excited. This is a story about werewolves on an airplane. And like you think you're like, okay, I know where this is going. You don't. You got to read it. Like it was when I got this, I message you and I was like, Steve.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not like tired of these mother effing
No.
on this mother effing
covers, no, like I think
totally
they nailed
different
it.
kind of
Yeah, no, they nailed it in their little description. It's like the family trauma, relatable. The anxiety, the airplane, but there's also this other connection that this character has to another person that is very heartfelt and warm and just really wrap the story up nicely for me. So yeah. I mean, werewolves on an airplane. What are you waiting on? Hit cash out in Amazon. Do it.
Oh,
and then I'm going to stall for a second because I can't.
I want to pull up. So a late, just little submission from JR because
I'll allow it. Go ahead.
Yes. Would like to thank you for the opportunity. Of course, my story was nerve-wracking to do, but I wanted to try something different, and it was my first ever werewolf story. Did an incredible job, JR. It really was an honor to read it.
Very, very cool concept.
Wanted to do something different, and naming it Sanctuary seemed very fitting. I definitely will expand on the story because my wife will kill me if I don't. Small town crime drama that exposes a hidden secret.
Good. Yeah. Okay, so I found the other one. Sorry, it was in a separate email. I meant to have it up in tabs, but I guess I accidentally closed it. I try to leave very few things open when I'm on recording or on a live. So this one's from Hughes. His story was Little Jimmy. So this is just a little note he was able to send to me. Hello, everyone. First, I would like to congratulate everybody involved in this anthology. Angel, thank you for everything you do. You're the best. You're the best. My story, Little Jimmy, is a plain old school coming of age werewolf story about a mother and her son. I would be lying to say that Silver Bullet and the Wolfman didn't inspire it. The Silver Bullet comes through, I think. not pun intended, not intended.
Oh.
It is dedicated to my mother because of the story itself, but also because she is the reason I love books so much today, especially horror. I hope you check it out and I hope you enjoy it. Have fun and thank you.
Very sweet. Love when you can have like sort of a sentimental connection, right?
I'm so open to stuff as far as like working with people to do things. So he had messaged me right when I was getting ready to finalize the files to send them to, I think, Kat for formatting at this point. And he was like, hey, would it be okay for me to add a dedication at the top of my story to my mom? And I'm like, yeah, of course. And so it's in French. So I don't know I don't know how to say it, but it's, I think it just says, you know, for you mom or to you mother or something to that effect. But I thought that was really sweet. So it's cool that he included that in his note. And then I'm going to also just go through one more time and make sure nobody else sent me anything. I don't want to miss anybody. I think that's it though. Let's see.
Yeah, I got JR's in there.
Yep, I think that's everybody's. I don't see any others. So if I yeah, I think we're good. So that's all of the stuff that was sent. Yeah, wow. Can you believe it's release day?
Well, you pump these out.
I make Kat and my editors.
Fair enough. Yeah.
I don't even know why they're friends with me anymore. I'm going to be honest with you, because I go to them, and I said this when Kat hosted the Diorum Live. I was like, I give them like insane timelines. And next year when we launch Voices Publishing, I can't do that anymore. I can't be like, oh, hey, by the way, like, you know, and so that's why the This House Is Not Ours, which just closed at the end of August, and then the Butterfly Effect anthology, which is open until the end of this month. That's why those are 2025 releases, because I was like, I've got to get better. I've got to stop doing this, or they're never going to speak to me again. And so like today I was like, well, the other thing I have to get in this year is the next room in that old house. Yes. Which if you haven't seen in a couple of other videos, I have talked about this. I will be announcing it very soon, couple weeks, probably 1st of October. But the room that we're doing next is the kitchen. And so I was like, quick question for y'all, because they're at the TBR con, the reading, the book con right now. They're together. I'm so jealous. I'm like, why didn't you tell me ahead of time? But anyway, so they're hanging out, you know, networking, probably buying books, selling books, doing all the good things. And I was like, I know y'all are busy, but like, quick question. I was like, if I want something to come out in December, is the first or second week in November too late to get it to y'all to get it done? Like, I'm like trying to figure out, do I need to release the announcement for that old house, the kitchen, now, or can it wait and I do it in October? But anyway, so I don't know why it's fine with me. I put them under ridiculous restraints, but I genuinely mean it when I say not a single book project I have ever done, from livestock to this to the next projects, every project in the future, they don't happen without the people. And in this particular instance, it's Nico Bell, but it's normally Tasha. Tasha does my editing. If you are a writer and you need an editor, she is the person to go to. She's trustworthy. She's very fair priced. She's quick. She's amazing. Please, if you have anything you need edited, she is the person to go to. But you know, they make the books what they are, as far as getting them to people, making sure they're good enough to get out to people, right? And to make sure that they're beautiful and that they look good, and it's all them. You know, and so like I was just on the Alley Report with Elford Alley on the Zervish channel, and he was like, oh, you know, you do all these anthologies. I'm like, I don't. I just pick the stories and make the images to promote it. I really don't do them. I really make other people do all the hard work. But sincerely, without the authors who contribute such incredible stories, and without Nico Bell, and for this one's particularly, but also Tasha, and without Kat, these books don't happen. So I'm just, you know.
Tasha's incredible. Well, I was also something I wanted to ask you too, because we talked a little bit about this. You know, not just picking the stories, but also curating the order is a bit of an art form too, because you want to like
it's hard.
You want to have like an ebb and flow as far as like something that's maybe a little more action packed, something that's a little more character driven or emotional, or
it's hard because the biggest thing for me is trying to give variety. So, like, just an example, I don't actually know off the top of my head if we have 2 hunter stories in this. I feel like we don't, but I don't remember off the top of my head. But let's just say, hypothetically speaking, we had 2 hunter stories. You don't want them next to each other. You want
No.
them mixed up. You want them filled. And so I will always put my story last. My story, by the way, so everyone knows this, I just feel like I need to say this because I always feel guilty about including my work. We had 25 spots. My story did not take a spot from anybody. It's always an extra. I never take away spots from other people writing. I never do that. That's not something I would ever do. But like, I always put mine last. And I always try to mix up what people are reading so that you're literally going from world to world to world. You know what I mean?
No,
And it's
absolutely.
not easy. It's super hard.
No,
Like,
there's so many different flavors within the
yeah,
sandbox, right? That like we're playing
yeah,
with. So many different. So yeah,
yeah.
you want to mix up. You want to sort of keep the reader engaged. I mean, granted, you could do like one story at a time, take a break, but you know, you might be inclined to just binge read as much as you
Some
can.
people do.
Yeah.
Some people get these and they read the authors they know or their friends or family or the people, you know, first, and then they go back and eventually read the others. And then,
Well, that's the beauty of an anthology, right? You can kind of just
yeah,
it's a
because
choose
they
your
don't
own
finish.
adventure as well. You know?
Yeah, no, for sure. And then I was going to show, if I can do it without hurting myself. I was going to show this too because I thought it was cute. I made this little thing for my partner's credit. Oh, which way? This
Oh
way?
yeah. Oh
So her Instagram is at the bottom. It's also in the video if you want to go give her a follow
yes.
on Instagram.
Where-
She's going to do really great stuff when I get her to post more things. We're working on it. Social media like that is new. I'm not very good at it either, but anyway. No, I love this. This was super fun. I can't get enough. I just feel like we just need more werewolves. And without vampires, you know what I mean?
Don't got to
Not
combine them.
every werewolf
Stephanie
story
Meyer.
needs to have a vampire.
Yeah.
God,
I know.
werewolves are so cool. I'm reading a book by can I see it from here? No, because I'm blind. A.G. Wells, I don't know, something. It's called The Path of Thorns, and it's witches and werewolves. And it's
Oh,
like,
that's fun.
oh,
But that
it's
like that's a
it's
better.
a-
That's a good combo.
it's a big ass book for me. You know, I don't read like it. I'm so slow. Like I'm such a slow reader. But it's like my best friend got it for me for Christmas. I was like, instead of buying each other a bunch of random stuff, I was like, why don't we all pick a book for each other? And that's what we did. And so she got me Path of Thorns, and it's so good. Like I follow the author on Twitter. I'm like, when I'm done reading this, I'm gonna see if I can get her to come on because I want to talk about her books, and I'm gonna go buy more of them because it's really good. But it was like the first thing in forever where I've had a werewolf. Oh, and I did want to say this, give a quick shout to Derek Heath, who's his story is called Beck. Really, really cool, like otherworld. I don't know, so good. He actually was the only author, the only author I invited because he has a short story collection where he wrote a werewolf story, and I was like heart eyes. Like it was so fun, so different, such a cool take. And I was like, hey, I'm going to do a charity werewolf anthology in 2024. Would you want to do a story as an invited author? So I did mean to say that earlier, and I spaced it, but yeah, he was the only author that was invited specifically to do it. But it's just because I loved what he did with his other werewolf story. And I was like, please write another one, you know? So yeah. Anyway, that's really I think that pretty much covers everything. Was there anything else you wanted to add, Steve?
I would happily do this again. I actually was thinking, you know how I'm going to do the little library book thing with your with Dioram? I was thinking of doing it with this one as well. So
well, let me know whatever you do because I can get the books for wholesale. You don't have to.
Okay, I think that might be fun. So an idea that I came up with it. I didn't get it from anyone, but that doesn't mean that no one else has done this. I just thought of it. It would be a really cute idea. Is I wanted to just get a bunch of copies of things and donate them to like those free little libraries. Just stick a copy. There's like one in a bunch of parks, or there's a few around us. My husband and I were actually been thinking of. Because you can get your own and register your own and then put it by your mailbox or something.
No, yeah. I mean,
I was thinking of even doing that. That'd be kind of cute. But
yeah, just whenever you need copies of anything, let me know because I get them for print price. I don't have to pay whatever the book is costing right now. You know what I mean?
Fair. But I wanted to put it towards the, the pool. I don't know.
Yeah, you can, but Amazon eats it up if you do it that way. But I think I still have it at 60%. So I want to do a series following Good Bones. And my only rule for myself is never werewolves versus vampires unless you kick off the idea. Fair. Thank you again. Thank you, Sarah. No, I sincerely, when I tell people thank you for trusting me to use your story, I genuinely mean it. I do not take it for granted. You guys are the superstars for this. I'm just the one hoping to get those stories out there and maybe help get some attention your way so that you'll keep writing, because that's the goal. I want you guys to keep writing. And if anybody needs any, like support, an intro, a blurb, or whatever for anything werewolf related or book related in general, hit me up.
Oh yeah.
I did forget this. This is terrible, but I did give her props for other things. So Kat actually did the what's it called? Introduction. I'm going to read it really quick and then we'll wrap up. It's short. It's not super long. When Angel asks for something, I say yes.
No.
I forgot that's how she started. She is one of the most creative and driven people I've ever met. So working with her is always a no-brainer. I was happy to blurb her debut collection, All the Little Voices, and Format Mrs. Claus, and even partner with her fully on Sincerely Departed. All of them are on sale, by the way, on Amazon, just saying. I was honored, if not somewhat surprised, when I was asked to do the introduction for Howlin For You. It's no secret in the community that I'm not big into werewolves. There are werewolf movies and books that I love, but there are few and far between, especially when compared to how many I see in the media. I say a lot that I'm pretty tough on vampires as a subgenre, but if you gave me the choice to consume vampire or werewolf content, I'll choose vampire 9 times out of 10. I actually spoke about this vague aversion to wolves once in a personal essay I wrote for Divergent Terrors, because it was something that bothered me a lot when I was struggling with my orientation. Werewolves are such a staple love of the LGBTQ plus horror circles, and I analyzed how a lot of us identify with the inherent themes of transformation present in a werewolf story. I suggested in that piece that perhaps becoming a horror fan in the early 2000s had corrupted me to the point that I simply crave darker content than what is easily found in creature features. After reading the stories that was curated for this anthology, I think perhaps it's a bit deeper than that. Self-discovery, I'm here for it. Werewolves are comfort horror for so many. There is so much love for the traditional werewolf myth and its arc that people have come to truly resonate with these creatures. It is hard for me, as someone who likes to have my limits pushed in fiction, to find fear or discomfort in ground that is so familiar. It is that passion for the underlying groundwork, however, that has led to such a beautiful tapestry of new takes as what you'll find in this anthology. Viewing myself as a sort of outsider in this particular horror pack, it was fascinating to see the different interpretations of what werewolves mean to other writers of the genre. Watching people pull at different threads of trope and tradition to weave new creations gave me a better appreciation for why it is werewolves have existed as such a strong pillar in the genre for so long. There is so much vision and passion in every single one of these stories, and I think the love for the genre shines through brightly. I would be remiss if I did not also mention the amazing cause that the anthology is raising money for. While I would consider myself a more recent appreciator of the fiction genre, I have always been a loud and passionate supporter of wolves as animals. The Wolf Conservation Center of Salem does the vital work of educating people about wolves and working to preserve their population. From the mission of teaching people about how to coexist with wolves and aid in their survival to the actual ambassador wolves that the organization works with, the money donated shall go to helping our canine friends. If you've bought, read, reviewed, or even helped promote Howlin For You, it means that you are also taking up the reins of that important work alongside all of the amazing contributors featured in these pages. I, for one, think that entitles you to the comfort, terror, and escapism of some of the best werewolf stories to be found anywhere. Enjoy, Kat Velour.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh,
I love Kat. Anyway.
Yeah.
So, if you're watching this and you were not a contributor, well, contributors are going to get a copy of it. But if you are not a contributor, definitely check out the links in the description. consider donating to this cause one way or another. Like I said, if you're not comfortable committing to the book, you can go to their website and donate any dollar amount you'd like. Everything adds up. Medical expenses for these babies, places for them to live, food, preservation, conservation, education. I mean, they really run the gamut on the support, just to try to raise awareness and educate people and help where they can. And they have live feeds, so you could go watch them.
Yes,
And
I have.
they're so cute. There's so many really cute ones. So anyway, but once again, thank you to all the contributors, everybody that was a part of this project. Steve, thank you. Kat, Nico Bell, literally our savior on this one. All of the authors, everybody that stopped by to say hello, everybody that has or will buy a copy of this. It means the world to us. We are very excited about this project, and we can't wait to hear everybody's thoughts on the stories. So did you have anything you wanted to add before I end us?
No, just another big old thank you. I loved reading these stories. Thank you to you for having me be part of the process.
Oh, yeah,
and yeah, let's help these wolves.
Let's help some wolves. Yeah, I'm here for it. And once again, contributor packages hopefully will be to everybody in the next week or so. I'm supposed to have them per Amazon by the 11th at the latest. So as soon as I get them, I'll be putting packages together and getting them out. And I think you guys are going to really like the goodies. I think. I feel pretty confident about it.
I helped design something for it, so I have a stake, and I hope you like what I made.
There's going to be a piece of paper in it that kind of explains what some of the items are, just to make sure everybody understands, where they came from and what they are and all that. But anyway, yeah. So thank you guys so much for hanging out with us to celebrate Howlin For You. It's available on Amazon, an ebook. It's on Kindle Unlimited for free, and of course, you can get a physical copy as well. And yeah, that's all I had for this one. So thank you guys again so much for the support. Hope you have a good rest of your evening, a great weekend, and we will see you in the next one.
Bye.